A video that went viral and made national headlines this week. A UTEP fan was seen attempting to throw a chair at the Jacksonville State men's basketball team. Good evening and thank you for tuning in to KTSM 9 News at 10. I'm Tirza Ortiz. It's a story you will only see on 9. We're hearing from the fan himself about what he says really happened. Our Ian Roth talked to that fan and he has this story.
Well, in what might have been the most chaotic ending to any UTEP basketball campaign, the climactic moment of the season happened after the final buzzer and on the sidelines. After days of rumor and speculation, we talked exclusively to the fan who says people need to know about what led up to his chair-raising incident.
And now we got a lot going on at the end of this game.
Obviously, we love UTEP. We love basketball. It's something that we do as a family.
In order to protect his identity, we've agreed to keep his name anonymous. He told us in the days after he's been worried for his family after getting a fair share of negative comments online. However, while people online saw him as the main perpetrator, he says that other people around him actually started the incident.
There was 2 young men that were sitting behind us that were instigating, maybe. The ushers came to us to ask me if these 2 gentlemen that were behind us were causing trouble to us. But when the game ended, and the way the game ended, once they celebrated, 2 players came back and started yelling at these 2 guys.
That's when he says things shifted towards him and his wife.
My wife goes to one of the assistant coaches and asks him to calm his players. And one of the players turns and sees my wife, and he says, F you, and then the B word. And I started signaling at him like, what did you just call my wife? Come here, tell it to my face.
Man, and I'm looking at this from all angles and stuff like that. At the end of the games, especially the way that they won on a 3, in the final seconds, because I was watching this, the emotions are going to be high. You just won the game. The other team is definitely going to be a little let down because they lost and stuff like that. And, a loss like this and in the conference tournament can end their season and stuff like that. But, man, your wife should have never even said anything. The assistant coaches know to do their job. It's not on your wife to be, telling the assistant coaches how to do their job. Her job is to be a fan in the stands, to be sitting there observing and looking at the game, or getting yourself, ready to, just, clap it up for your team and, get yourself up out the stadium safely, And if they was yelling at someone that was sitting behind you guys, and, let that play out how it plays out. The ushers are going to come over and try to do their best to, calm the situation down. But, yeah, I mean, I just feel like, she overstepped her, like a boundary that she should have had. If anybody would have said something, she should have said something to you, and then you, would say something like that. But, and this is just one side of the story because I haven't, tried to find or listen to the other side of the story. But, in my opinion, man, if you're in the stands, then that's where you should stay, in the stands. You are there to watch the game and to be entertained by the game. And after that, you leave the arena. But, I feel it, man. You got to stand up for your wife, but at the same time, your wife shouldn't be in a position to where she's trying to tell assistant coaches how to do their job.
While the now viral fan defends his actions, he also says he could have acted more appropriately.
Obviously, I was mad. And I think every husband, father would react the same, as you.
Well, the first thing I would do is I would tell my wife that she needs to, stay in her place as far as, you are here to watch the game. If you have an issue with anything, you take it up with me, and then I'll go and, address, an assistant coach or someone that's on their bench or something like that. But, now you putting me in a situation where I have to defend an action that you stepped up and did. And you didn't have the right to go to any of those. I don't care if you're an alumni, booster, it doesn't matter. You don't have the right to approach, another team and try to tell them how to do their job or tell them what they need to do with their players. They're in that position because they are well aware of how to conduct themselves and, get their young men calmed down. And, you really just threw a little bit more fuel on the emotional fire because your team had just lost. So you really just threw a little bit more fuel on, the whole emotions that was going on. And I'm pretty sure, you guys was drinking or, maybe you wasn't drinking, but just to have that type of entitlement to feel like, okay, I have the right to sit there and tell, someone else how to do their job. That's just not right.
You can see I'm the one who put down the chair. I didn't swing at them.
I mean, you picked the chair up, so of course you got to put it down, or else you'll still be carrying that chair right now. And I don't want to make this like, okay, he's 100% in the wrong, because again, I understand the aspect of him wanting to step in and try to be a man in front of his wife, but she already little dogged you when she stepped up and said something before you could, or yelled at the assistant coaches before you could. She already little dogged you. So now you trying to come and be big dog, Mr. Saver, put your cape on, and that's just how you could end up getting yourself into a situation that you shouldn't be in.
I didn't hit them. That was not the intention. My intention was to shield my family.
That fan told us in the same interview that he hopes this doesn't cast a...
You shield your family by getting up out of there and addressing your wife and letting her know, hey, before you jump off the rails and, put yourself into a situation that seemed like didn't even involve you at all, you may want to consult with your husband first.
Negative light on El Paso or the team, saying that the community always wants to support the miners. Reporting from the newsroom, I'm Ian Roth. Back to you.
And started yelling at these two guys.
That's when...
So I'm just want to run it back again so we're clear on it. So the team, after they had, hit the game-winning shot, they probably was getting heckled the whole time from these guys. And again, emotions are running high, tensions are running high. They just won a game at the buzzer. And so they come back and they're going to say something to these two guys. Not saying they're in the right, but again, at the same time, emotions are running high.
He says things shifted towards him and his wife.
My wife goes to one of the assistant coaches and asks him to calm his players.
You hear that? Your wife, not you, your wife goes to one of the assistant coaches and asks them to calm their players. So what business did she have to do that? What right did she have to do that? Is that in her job description? Is that on the ticket that you guys purchased to see that event that says, okay, if something happens, then I'm supposed to step up and I'm supposed to say something to one of their assistant coaches to tell them to calm down their players. Of course, they know to keep their players calm. They more than likely just won, the conference championship. Let me just go back and look and see if that was the finals of that conference championship. Let's see, 'cause this happened like a few days ago. Let's see. UTEP. Let's go back and look. This was just a few days ago. And like I said, I recall watching this game and seeing that whole event play out at the end of the game. And I just felt like, they was hurt because they had lost that game. Let's go to the MAC. Let me just sort this out by MAC. Let's see. So Akron actually ended up winning the MAC. Let me see. No, they're not in the MAC. I'm tripping. Give me 1 second. This just happened. Let me see. Was this on the 11th? Okay, so this was on the 7th. So I wasn't going far back enough. Let's see. This happened on the 7th. And let me locate the game. Yeah, so UTEP Jacksonville State. Yeah, so yeah, this this happened at the buzzer. And let's see. Yeah, this was the end of the regular season, so this wasn't even the conference championship. This happened at the end of the buzzer there, and it was against Jacksonville State. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, in the Conference USA. Yeah, and then Jacksonville State got smacked up in the first round anyway. So yeah, this was the end of the regular season, and yeah, I think that was the game to get into the conference tournament because yeah, it doesn't look like UTEP was a part of that tournament, and with how their tournament goes, but yeah, I mean it's just one of those things, man, where all sides have to stay calm and remain calm in that whole situation. So let me know what you guys think. Maybe everyone will have a difference of opinion with this whole thing. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This is Justin Paul. Peace.